Hey all, Bree from the No Guilt Mom podcast, and I have got a gift for you this holiday season. If you love the No Guilt Mom podcast, and I mean love the No Guilt Mom podcast, then tell us about it. Leave us a review, and you can be entered to win a No Guilt Mom gift card. All you have to do is leave a review, take a screenshot, and then simply go to noguiltmom.com/review to enter our giveaway for a free No Guilt Mom gift card, simply for telling us what you think about the podcast. It is amazing. But don't delay. Get right on this, as we're going to be giving away that No Guilt Mom gift card on December 21st. So get right on over and visit noguiltmom.com/review.
Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast. I am your host, Joanne Crone, and I am here with another No Guilt Mom win, where I talk to one of our No Guilt Mom community members, usually a Balance VIP member, and we talk about the things that they're doing in their own life so that you will be inspired as well, and you can see what you can accomplish and the calm and relaxation that you can achieve. And that's what we're talking about today, because there is such a push right now in our society to do it all. Like, moms have to do it all, take care of the kids, cook dinner, work on a full-time job and be successful that way. And it's just way too much. We put so much stress on achieving. So we're going to have a little mind shift for you today. And I'd like to welcome Katie, who is one of our Balance VIP members, who is thinking about things a different way at this summer. And it's amazing. So welcome, Katie.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
You're a teacher, and now you have your summers off. What's your typical mindset when you're at home in terms of what you have to get done?
So in the summer, I've always put a lot of pressure on myself. Okay, I'm going to get up early and I'm going to work out and get all this stuff done because we have longer days and nicer weather. And my boys are getting a little bit older now. So now that they're 5 and 8, it's a little easier for me to maybe sleep in and have a more relaxed morning even when they're awake. So this summer, we're talking about mind shift changes, but I've had a mind shift change where I'll sleep in until the kids wake me up or until I naturally wake up. Then I am just spending more time enjoying my coffee on the patio, not putting pressure on myself to necessarily wake up and get things done first thing in the morning. During the school year, I do use that morning time, 5 a.m., 5:30, to get exercise in before I have to go to work. But just really taking that pressure off myself this summer to not have to wake up so early in the morning and get all of that stuff done. And it's been just changing my mindset and allowing myself to not have to do that made a huge difference.
It's amazing the pressure we put on ourselves, because I know particularly in Balance, we just put out our July goal thread, and a lot of these goals are all of these things: get up and work out, make sure I have a dedicated 20 minutes with my kids. And it's all of this stuff that I think together, looking at that list, it makes me a little depressed, because it's all of these tasks that have to get done. We're told that we should be taking use of all of our time and making the most of our time with our kids, and yet being a present parent. Yet it's very stressful, Katie.
Yes, I agree. It is very stressful. It is. This morning I woke up a little after 6. I just naturally did. And so I ended up getting up, but I've had some mornings. It's been interesting. The boys will play quietly and not wake us up. And once I wake up, there's always all of a sudden a new issue. Mom, they're start arguing. So I've been telling them to have that independent time to where I'm not intervening. So that's been interesting, because I'm wow, they can get along when they know I'm not there, be the referee.
Totally.
So sometimes I'm even kind of laying in bed, hearing that they're awake. And I'm okay, I'm just going to hide in here for a little bit.
You know what I've discovered with my kids is if we busy ourselves with something else. My kids are 14 and almost 10 now. So my husband and I get to go on date nights where they're home alone. My daughter's in charge. And they get along better when we are not around than when we are around. And seeing that is just such a load off.
I'm not doing this perfectly, but I have noticed that with my older son, I tend to be more transparent. Okay, I'm starting to feel really frustrated. I need you to just give me a minute. Like I feel like I'm able to, before I yell about something, just talk it through with him, because I think he's able to understand that. Our 5-year-old, not so much. I think with him, it's still pretty frustrating because he does go from like 0 to angry very quickly. And sometimes we don't even know what triggers it, but just trying to let him, it's okay. I'm here. It's okay to feel upset. Just trying to use more of that calm language with him. I'm just now going through Calm and Happy Parenting. And this morning I was on module 2, and it's talking about their brain and like how
the cerebral cortex.
Yeah, the top and the bottom they're not able to speak to each other yet. And as a teacher, I feel like I know these things. I've been taught this, and I'm able at school to stay calm with my students, or else I wouldn't be a teacher. But at home, it's like I have none of that calm that I have at school. I expect my kids to act better, but I'm not taking into account the fact that their brains aren't even developmentally ready to do what I'm expecting of them. So I think that through Joanne's like programs, just looking at that and going, oh yeah, he's not able to calmly say something or regulate his emotions before he freaks out. And that's okay, because that's like where his brain is at.
As a teacher, I had the same thing. It was so much easier to like regulate my mood and like stay patient and not have those feelings come up. I never had the rage come up in me. And sometimes, honestly, I'm like, oh, it's their home life. Because as a teacher, you could do that. You could say, oh, they're dealing with a lot at home. It's totally okay. They have a little sibling who's keeping them up all night. Or I used to teach in a Title I school. So, of course, my kids had a lot more challenges there. My kids do. But you have all these things that you can really say isn't your fault when you're a teacher. But I think when you become a parent, at least for me, they're your kids and you're like, oh my gosh, this is my fault. This is my fault.
Yeah.
And it becomes a lot more internal locus of control, which really we don't have control over our kids. But I think those are the feelings that arise in me. Do you think that would be the same for you?
I agree. Yeah. A lot of that, like putting it on myself. What did we do wrong? I would just put all this weird pressure on myself that I always needed to be home and with the kids.
I know this pressure. Yes.
Yeah. And I would come home from going out to dinner with my friends or whatever it was that I was doing, and they would be fine and they would be in bed. And it took me a while to realize, oh yeah, I am able to go and live my own life and fill up my bucket, and everything is fine at home.
It's all seeing how your kids react in situations, but it's also really paying attention to your internal sense of calm and how much energy that you have left, because that's something that we never had modeled for us by the earlier generation. It wasn't popular for my parents' generation to like, you should take care of yourself. They weren't even told that you should spend all this time with your kids. Like they weren't told that. Do you remember in the 80s and 90s, the news came on and it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? They wouldn't ask that now because the parenting has become so like, oh my gosh, we have to do the best for our kids. We have to know where they are every second. We have to protect them. It's different, but it really comes with its own set of stresses. And I think moms are taking the brunt of it right now.
Yeah. I think that a big thing that has helped me within the balance group was May, when you did the digital detox. I followed along with like your weekly advice about, okay, today let's clean up our home screen and declutter that. And that has been this catalyst to like change just the way I spend my time. I turned off a bunch of notifications, and I just found that through doing that, just cleaning up like my phone, first of all, like what power our phones have over us.
It does. It has so much power.
Yeah. Turning those notifications off, like the Facebook and the Instagram notifications, I just found that I only pulled it open when I actually thought about it and had the time, which actually is not that often.
It's like a subtraction thing. When you take stuff out that you don't have to take care of, it frees up your mind. We don't realize how much the stuff in our lives and the clutter in our lives really take up space, so that when you remove it, it's all good.
I'm able to see that social media is really not real life oftentimes. And I think that mind shift was helpful, especially like during COVID. It was just challenging being on social media all day and doing that comparison thing. So I try really hard. That's helped me a lot with like my mindfulness, just like trying really hard not to compare myself to other moms or what other people are doing. And I know like in balance, my goal this month is just like July is going to be the fun month. We have no expectations, but we are going to do experiences. That's my big thing. And not necessarily expensive experiences, but I really want to get outside with my kids and do as much summery type things as we can. So like we've gone kayaking, we floated down the river where I live, just going to the pool as much as we can, getting out to friends' lake places. Like we don't have a lake place, and that in the past has made me feel like I should have a lake place.
Easier just to go to your friend's lake place for a weekend. Have them deal with all the maintenance and stuff.
Yeah, but I used to be like, I'm not doing enough. My kids aren't having enough experiences. And I think COVID, having 3 years of interrupted experiences, really messed with my mind in that way. So now I'm just like, whatever we do is enough. We don't have to do what everyone else is doing.
And you don't have to be constantly achieving. You deserve a break, and you deserve fun and relaxation and loveliness. And
yes,
thank you so much, Katie, for coming on and chatting with me.
Thank you.
This was fun. It went by in a flash.
I know. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. And if you're listening right now and you're thinking of all the stuff that you have to get accomplished this summer, or take advantage of all the time, or make the most of everything, I want you to take a step back, to breathe, and just concentrate on fun and what feels good for you. And remember, the best mom's a happy mom. Take care of you. And I will talk to you later.
Are you looking for something to listen to with your whole family? Then check out 6 Minutes, produced and created by Gen Z Media. With over 200 twisty, cliffhanger-filled episodes, 6 Minutes tells the story of 11-year-old Holiday, who is pulled from the icy waters with no memory of who she is or where she came from.
3 years ago, Brinley Pasternak helped the Anders family uncover the truth about Holiday's past. Now she'll need them to help her find the truth about hers. In 6 Minutes Out of Time, the long-awaited sequel, Cyrus Anders is found unconscious near the mysterious Elixir Academy in Florida, and Brinley learns the school may have a shocking connection to her missing mother.
Dive in now and get the most downloaded family audio adventure in history. Follow 6 Minutes wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen early and ad-free with the GZM family subscription.